Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm showing you how to create this sort of autumnal makeup look with a nice bold wing and a bold lip. So if you want to find out how to achieve this, keep watching. So I'm starting out with my Tilbury Wonderglow, which is like a skincare and primer in one. I don't tend to use silicone based primers as I like something a little bit more hydrating and glowy. Then I'm going in with my foundation, which is the Fenty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Foundation. I use this, I believe, in the shade 180, and I just kind of dispense it all over the face with a flat foundation brush before blending it out with a buffing brush. So these two brushes that I'm using are from Crown Brushes, which is in the UK. I will actually link those in the description box if anyone wants to get their hands on it. I think these ones came as part of a kit. When buffing your foundation into the skin, I tend to just avoid the under eye area where the skin's a little bit more delicate. I like to leave that for the concealer that we're going to do. Just really work it in like sort of thin layers and build it up where necessary. So next I'm going in with my concealer. I'm using the Bobbi Brown Creamy Concealer. I have quite a few blemishes at the moment, so I just really want to get those covered up, and I'm using the Real Techniques Derm Shadow brush to do that. My technique here is just to basically really pat the product into the skin rather than using like a wiping, gliding motion, which is just going to push the product around the face and not give you any coverage. You just really want to focus the product on the imperfection. Something else to add here is try not to go in with too much product all at once. Light layers, a lot like the foundation, light layers and build it up. And then that way you're going to get the best coverage. Here I'm going in with the Bobbi Brown Corrector in the shade Peach Bisque, and I'm just focusing that on the inner corner of the eye and then a little bit on the outer corner. This is basically just to correct any unwanted pigments that we get for the eyes. Because the skin is so thin around the eyes, you tend to get those unwanted pigments, sort of purple tones, blue tones, sometimes even more like red-brown tones, and that is just going to correct that. And if you look at the difference here, that just instantly lifts and makes the eyes look more awake. So now I'm going back in with the Creamy Concealer in a slightly lighter shade just to brighten up the under eye, focusing the product just more central under the eye rather than the inner corner. And as you can see, I'm very shocked by this because it looks, oh god, I look transformed, I look so awake. In terms of technique, just keep patting the product in, and if you don't have the brushes, use your ring finger. Now I'm just setting my under eye concealer with the Sleek Face Form Baking and Setting Powder, and I'm using a Sigma powder brush just to roll that. So holding the base of the brush on a little bit of an angle, I'm rolling it, and that's going to stop the product from being pushed around and moved. We just want to keep it in place and just do a light dusting of powder, and then we can just set everywhere else with that we concealed and take out any oiliness and shine from the skin. I do have very oily skin, so this step is very essential for me, but I do tend to keep it in the centre of the face, not on the sides, because we want to keep that nice glow. Next we're taking a Bobbi Brown Cream Shadow Stick. It's this gorgeous sort of champagne rose gold colour, and I'm just applying that straight from the stick all over the lid. Try not to take it any further than the crease of the eye, and then we're just going to buff it out with a blending brush. I'm taking it a little bit on the inner corner there as well, and then I'm using this lovely MAC brush, I will link that below, and I'm just buffing that out. It's a nice tapered brush that kind of does the work for you, although with a light colour like this you don't need to be too accurate. Just get the stick on there and then blend it out as quickly as possible because they do set quite fast. And look how gorgeous that is. With the same brush now, I'm going to take my MAC Mineralise Skin Finish in the shade Give Me Sun. You'll be able to see that I've used this a lot. I need a new one. And I'm just going to nestle that into the socket and use a kind of back and forth motion just to buff it into the crease, so that everything just looks super soft and diffused. And if you can kind of tell, I hold my brush very light and I don't hold it too close to the bristles. Just want to be really light-handed rather than heavy-handed, and it'll just allow us to get that nice diffused look, and just keep blending until you're satisfied. Now I'm taking my Tilbury Pillow Talk palette of pops, so these are all pressed glitters, and you literally just want to swipe it across the lid like that. So easy. Next I'm taking my Inglot Gel Liner, and I absolutely love this gel liner. It's just super black. It's super easy to use. It just glides on, as you'll be able to see. And I use a nice angled brush for this, which I will list in the description below. And you can kind of see my technique. I take the top half of the wing and keep your eyes open and look straight in the mirror when you do this. And then I kind of connect the line, and then you can just drag it right across. I'll probably do a more in-depth tutorial at some point about how to do winged liners, and also possibly use somebody with different lids to me, because I know that we've all got different lids, so I could do like a variety. Let me know what you think. I personally would recommend using an angled brush to do your winged liner, especially if you're not super confident with applying wings on yourself. You can get the fine liner brushes, but the angled brush kind of gives you the shape already. Now we're going to go in with our MAC Give Me Sun bronzer, the same bronzer that was used for the socket of the eye, and I'm just using that sort of underneath my cheekbones, not too low. I want to kind of lift the face, and I'm using a contour brush to do this. Kind of focus the product closer to the ear and the hairline, and then blend anything that's left on the brush outwards. You want to focus the shadow to the outside of the face. And then you can just take that bronzer under the jawline, and you can do it a little bit on your temples as well, anywhere where the sun would naturally hit the skin, because you want your bronzer to look like you've been sun-kissed. Just avoid putting it everywhere, really. Next I'm going in with my Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick in the shade Rose. I absolutely love doing this step. It just gives the skin a really kind of soft, rosy glow almost. It's not quite a blusher, it's not quite a highlighter, I guess it's an in-between, and you can kind of tell what it's doing to the skin. It just looks beautiful. And then I'm just going on top of that with my Marylou highlighter, and I've kind of turned my head so you can see where the light's naturally hitting the cheekbones, so the very high points of the cheekbones, and then I'm just doing a really light dusting of the highlighter there, because we just want lovely glowy skin. A little bit down the centre of the nose and a little bit on the Cupid's bow. The next step is an essential one for me. It's eyelash curlers. I'm using the Bobbi Brown ones. Just gives your eye an instant lift. And here I'm using the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot Mascara, and just really wiggling the brush, get right down to the base of the lashes and lift. Just pop a little bit on the bottom lashes as well if you want to. I don't like to do too much on the bottom lashes, it just depends on the look. When I'm doing a look that's pretty minimal on the eyes, I just don't want to have that look where your eyelashes on the bottom are kind of dragging the face down. Now moving on to the lip colour, I tried two to start with and they just obviously were not working for me at all, and I ended up settling on this NYX Lip Liner in the colour Clinger, and it's just a really beautiful purple colour. I wanted something more deep, and I knew I wanted it to be like a purple or burgundy tone for the autumn, and I really like the way this ended up looking. I did use a little lipstick at the end, which we will come to in a little bit, and when I'm lining the lips I like to start from the centre and work my way out. Once you know that you've got your shape right with your lip liner, I just started dragging it across the outer corners of the lips inwards, just to give it an all-over finish, and then we'll go in with the lipstick next. And then for lipstick I'm using the Tilbury lipstick in the shade Walk of Shame, which is slightly more on the burgundy side, I guess, and then you just want to kind of pat it on more in the centre of the lips, and I just think it complements that purple colour really nicely. Finally, just to finish off the look, I'm going in with my Revolution palette in the shade Sugar and Spice, and I kind of used a mixture of those two top shades there on the apples of the cheeks, nice and high, just to lift the face. The reason I choose blusher after lipstick is just to make sure that it actually goes with the look. So that is the look finished. It's a really lovely kind of glowy skin, simple winged liner with a nice bold lip, really beautiful for autumn, which is going to be just around the corner, and I'm really looking forward to wearing this actually. The next tutorial I'm hoping to do a more bold autumnal eye, so if you want to see that, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching.